Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, we shall start with Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Felicia?
Good evening, Ajaan. Ajaan, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay. Good evening, Ajaan. My mindfulness practice is improving. Every time when I meditate, mindfulness and calmness can stay still like magnet. The mind and thinking shut down, and I can observe my mind is separate from body. I feel very peaceful and very clear. I will continue to practice like this. Thank you, Brother Ajaan, for teaching me the direction to continue my practice.
Yes, you should try to meditate as much as possible. And when you're not meditating, you should always be mindful. Make sure that you don't react with emotion like love, hate, anger, or greed. Just merely be knowing
Okay.
and react with reason, with rationality. Don't use emotion. Keep your mind calm at all times.
Okay. Thank you.
All right?
Brother Ajaan, I have a few questions. Number one, if a living enter into Brahma world without Sotapan, when they rebirth into human, will they forget their Dhamma practice?
No, they can go back to jhana anytime after they. That's why some people born and not having family and usually go live in monastery. That's because their past life, this is what they used to do. This is how they find happiness. They don't find happiness having family or friends. They like to be alone. They like to meditate.
Okay, thank you. Number two, I always hear people mention about share merit. I know meditate cannot share merit. Only dana can share merit. Can we share merit by sila?
As far as I know, the Buddha recommend using dana because this is instant merit you can get. With sila and meditation, it's a long time before you can get the merit because you have to be pure all the time with your sila, not just 1 minute or 1 hour of sila and then you can share this merit already. It has to be complete, total before you can share it. So it's not easy to share merit from sila or from meditation because you haven't yet achieved the result. But with dana, as soon as you give away something, you already achieved the result. You have a happy mind already, and then you can share that happiness with the other people, the departed people.
Thank you. What about metta?
Metta is being friendly, being kind to other people.
Okay.
When you see somebody, you smile at them instead of giving a frown face. You smile and say, "How are you? Is everything okay?" This is metta. Or if you have something to share with them to make them happy, this is metta.
Okay. Thank you. Number three, human cannot control their dream. Can anagami control their dream?
Everybody, when they dream, they don't have mindfulness to control their dreams.
Even though anagami also cannot control their dream.
Even Arahant, they don't control their dreams when they go to sleep.
Okay, thank you. Brother, another question. In Buddha time, is it the monks go to jungle practice Dhamma, got the ghosts are disturbed, is it Buddha teach the monks to chant to chanting, right?
No, actually, the Buddha taught them to meditate. But one way of learning to meditate is to have mindfulness. And one way to get mindfulness is to chant, to memorize the teaching of the Buddha. See, in ancient time, they have no books, nothing to record the teaching of the Buddha. So they have to commit them in memory. So this is what chanting came about, from memorizing the teaching of the Buddha to preserve his teaching. Monk then take the duty of reciting or memorizing the teaching of the Buddha. And they found it useful for their meditation because this gives them mindfulness. So it becomes a tradition to preserve the teaching of the Buddha by memorizing the teaching, by chanting it.
Okay.
But the real way to preserve the teaching is to practice the Dhamma, practice. Because what you chant, what you memorize is just only the letter of the Dhamma, not the spirit of the Dhamma. You only can get to the spirit of the Dhamma by practicing. You cannot get enlightened from chanting the suttas, but you do it just to preserve the teaching. But nowadays, we have other methods of preserving the teaching. We have books, we have videos, we have audios, recording also. So monks nowadays don't chant for the preservation of the teaching.
Okay. Because I heard someone say, if go to jungle, practice Dhamma, but the ghosts and disturb, must chant, and Buddha also teach the monk to chant. So I decided.
Yes, you have to chant when you're in the forest, because if you don't chant, your mind can create ghosts in your own mind to scare you.
Okay.
So when you chant, you calm your mind, you stop your mind from creating ghosts. There are no ghosts in the jungle. There are ghosts only in your mind. See?
Okay.
So when you calm your mind, you stop your mind from thinking, then the ghost cannot come up.
Okay, thank you. Sadhu. Thank you.
If there are ghosts, how can the animals in the jungle live?
I heard someone say also go to jungle and chant. After that, the tiger, the animal no disturb, and the snake also no come out. Is it true?
They don't come out in your mind. See, they come and go as they like, but you seldomly will come across them because they don't like you. They try to avoid meeting you.
I heard somebody say many times already. Go to jungle, practice, should chant, because the ghosts won't disturb and the animals also no one disturb. Is it true? I don't know.
It's the other way around. Go to the jungle so that you can then become afraid of the animals. And the way to stop being afraid is to chant, to use mindfulness from chanting, to stop your mind creating all the animals coming to you.
Okay, thank you.
So this is a method of forcing the practitioner to meditate, to use mindfulness, to develop mindfulness by chanting, to stop their mind from thinking.
But Ajaan, my experience, I in monastery, I experienced I got the ghost touch with me, my body. I calculate 20 times or not. But I never scared. I really got someone touch my body. Starting, I'm not very sure. When I hear somebody touch my body, I count until 20 times. very confirm someone touched my body, but I never scared. Until the monastery the first day until the fourth day, night time got some sound some sound like I don't know how to explain. But the fifth day, the come and touch me. I know sure got someone touch me, but I never scared. I look at it. How come he touch me? Then I turn my body I turn my body to another side. Then there's someone I don't know the ghost or what I go and push the toilet door. No? Go and push the toilet door. I hear the sound. Then I also how come I turn my body, he cannot touch my body, and then go and move the door, the toilet door. Then the sound also come out, and I hear very clear. There is a Thai sound, the lady sound. Do sound like that, no. Then I see the clock. That time is 3 something. Then the next day I go and tell Long Po. I'm in Wat Khao Jai, Long Po Uthai there. I go and tell Long Po keep quiet. After I tell Long Po, that day until 1 month I left, nothing already. I don't know what happened. That's why someone say must chant. That's why I don't know chant. That's why I asked Brother Ajahn, is it we go other place and practice Dhamma, should chant or not?
If you're afraid, then you use chanting to stop your fear. If you're not afraid, then you don't have to chant. You can face the ghost. Take a look at the ghost. Say hello. Talk to the ghost. If you're not afraid.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Ajahn.
All right.
Budala Sadhu.
Next, Silky from Malaysia.
Good evening, Brother Ajahn. I have no question, just listening in.
Okay, Gavin from Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, Ajahn. I wanted to ask similar advice from last time. I cannot consistently in samadhi switch from the breath when it becomes very subtle, when it wants to stop, to just knowingness. I've only been successful one time so far. And I only encounter this situation maybe every several months. But do you have advice on how to switch when the breath wants to stop to just the knowingness?
You don't switch, you just keep watching. That's all. Keep watching your breath. If it stops, just know that it stops, that's all. And just watch. Just keep watching the no breath. If there's no breath, just watch the emptiness. Okay. And watch your mind, whether your mind starts to think or not. If your mind starts to think, you should stop it. And just be merely knowing, not thinking. Okay. That's all. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Just continue on knowing, continue watching. Even when there's nothing to watch. Like watching an empty screen. When you turn off the screen, turn off the television, there's still the screen to watch. So just keep watching the screen. So the screen of the mind should be empty at that time. If you have thoughts, then you should stop it.
Okay. Thank you.
Anura from New Zealand. Haven't seen you for a few weeks.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ajahn. Yes, I've been so busy and.
What is it? 2 o'clock now?
Yeah. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's hard. I couldn't wake up because I've been so busy at work. Anyway, I've been trying to practice, but the time that I'm spending is not enough. So anyway, it's the end of the year, so I think it should be better soon. Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes. Yeah. I'm turning up the volume because of the dog barking.
Yeah. So, I don't have a question on meditation, but thinking on the process of vijnana. So, is it correct to say that vijnana cannot stay alone without any attachment? Like we need to have a vision or the sound or anything else, that something else to attach to. So, can a vijnana exist stand alone? No, it's itself.
You mean the vijnana in the five khandhas?
Yeah, yes.
No, it's part of the mind, part of the knower. The knower has four function really.
Yeah.
Sankhara, this is thinking of, and perception is sanya or memory, and vedana, which is feeling, and vijnana. They go all together. They're working in groups, in tandem, with different duty. See, vijnana is the one who connects the mind to the body, to the sensual organs, so that will allow the sensual objects to enter into the mind through vijnana or consciousness. Once it got to the mind, then it's the duty of the perception to figure out what type of sensual objects they are, good or bad or neutral, for instance. When perception has decided it is good, then you have feeling arising, good feeling arising. If it's bad, you have bad feeling arising. If it's neutral, then you have neutral feeling arising. And once you have feeling, then your sankhara, your thought will then decide what to do. Shall I stay? Shall I go? Shall I approach what I see or hear? This is sankhara. They work in tandem. They all go together very quickly. The time what I'm telling you is only a fraction of a minute when this thing happens. So you have to have mindfulness to catch at sankhara. And sankhara tells you to greed, to crave, then you say no, you should try to stop it. If sankhara just say no reaction, then that's good. See? If sankhara tells you to run away, that's bad. To approach, that's also bad. The best solution is to be merely not acting, not reacting. But this takes training of your mind, because normally your mind will react right away. As soon as you have feeling, good or bad feeling, if it's good feeling, you want to run into that object for more. If it's bad feeling, you want to run away from it. And one way, you have to try to change your perception also, because you have wrong perception, because you see things in terms of being conventional truth, like money, and when in fact money is just a piece of paper, right? But you've been programmed to look at a piece of paper as money, something you can buy something with. So then you have attraction for that piece of paper. So this is when you use contemplation to retrain your perception, to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta instead. Once you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you can stop your reaction. Okay?
Okay, understood.
So all the four Dhammakhandhas, they work in tandem. They be like a football team. They go together. When they play football, they have to have the whole team members in the team working. Each one doing different duty.
So if someone is if I'm in samadhi,
then you stop everything. You stop this football team from working. And all you have left is just the knowing, the mind.
Okay. Yes.
But when you come out of samadhi, the football team start working right away. Start to feel the body first when you come on meditation.
Yeah.
And when you open your eyes, start to see images.
Yeah. So that knowing is just a vijnana, is that correct to say?
No, vijnana is just the receptor, the cable
Receptor,
that connects the body to the mind.
Yeah.
The knower is the mind.
Yeah.
But you need vijnana to connect the body to the mind, so that the essential objects can enter the mind that way.
Oh, yes.
So that's
So
all vijnana does, is just to connect and to bring the essential objects into the mind.
Yeah. So when we die, then the vijnana disappears from that
No,
connection.
it's still working. It works in this time. Instead of working through the body, it works through the mind as a dream, as dreams.
Okay.
Maybe vijnana not working anymore. Just sankhara and sanya and vijnana and vedana is working.
Yeah.
When you dream, vijnana doesn't connect to the body, so there's nothing to deal with. No essential objects coming from the body.
Yeah.
So the mind then resorts to the essential objects that has been stored in memory instead.
Yeah.
So your dreams about places and people and things. Yeah.
Okay.
This is sanya and sankhara.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then it will be active until we find another body to
That's
be.
right.
Right. Okay. Yes.
And if you have good dreams, we call this heaven.
Yeah.
If you have bad dreams, then we call this hell.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you're not dreaming at all, you're in jhana.
True.
Those who have jhana, once when they die, their mind will enter into jhana. Will be in the Brahma realm, the Rupa and Arupa realm of existence. Until the mindfulness, the strength of the mindfulness decreases, then it will then start to think and start to crave for sensual things. So it will then reborn as human again.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
So this is just addition, what I call unnecessary knowledge.
Yeah.
In your practice, all you want to know is how to control your thoughts and change your sanya.
Yeah.
It's like when you drive, you don't have to know how the engine works, right?
Yeah.
You just want to know how to control your car. That's all.
Yeah. True.
You have to know how fast, what's the RPM, the rate per minute, how much gas is being consumed, and so forth. All you want to know is watch the road and how to drive the car to get you to where you want to go. That's all.
Okay.
But it's all right to know.
Yeah.
But just don't think that by knowing this will make you become enlightened. That's not the case.
Yes. Yeah.
What makes you become enlightened is seeing the mind creating dukkha by its own cravings, and seeing the mind stopping these cravings by seeing the three characteristics of existence. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sangajan. Thank you.
All right.
Sadhu. Yeah.
Next, Ajaan Suchart from Silver Spring, Maryland.
I'm just listening, Ajaan. Thank you very much for your teaching. I was really enjoying your answer to Anuraj's question. Really, thank you very much. I think I may have questions later on, but right now I'm just listening. Thank you.
Okay, Alvin from Malaysia, Singapore, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
I've done I've got no question. I'm just listening. Thanks.
Okay, Kok Seng from Singapore.
John, no questions at the moment. just listening.
Ek Yen So from Penang, Malaysia.
No question.
Okay, Karen of Sue Kelly from San Jose, California.
Yes, my alias on Facebook.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, that's okay. I want you guys to know. I like
Okay.
having my privacy on Facebook, so I go by my middle name in case anybody wants to find me. I'm Sue Kelly. My middle name's Suzanne on Facebook. So if you see Sue making a comment, it's me. You'll see my picture anyway. So anyway, I have no questions. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for your teaching.
Okay. Let me go to Nanapat from Bangkok. Nanapat.
ค่ะนมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ no question ค่ะ just listening in ค่ะ
Okay. Alfredo from Brazil, from the land of equanimity. Ubeka.
Hi, Bante. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Today I am in the level, Deva's level, Bante. I'm very tranquility.
Tranquil, huh? Very calm.
Deva's word, Bante. Bante, how Buddha teachings a Deva if a big Deva not have suffering? An example. If a Deva not have suffering, how Buddha teachings a person that not have suffering, Bante?
He taught the Deva who like to study Dhamma. There are Devas that are happy and they don't care about Dhamma. And there are also Deva who in the past life have studied Dhamma before. So they like to study more Dhamma, more. Like people, some people like to find happiness by enjoying things. And some people find happiness from studying. Those people have the inclination to study, will seek the teaching of the Buddha if there was one available. If they know that there was a Buddha or a noble disciple giving Dhamma teaching, then they would they would attend the teaching. Like Ajaan Man said he had Devas coming. Ajaan Man could connect to the Devas, and he also taught the Devas the Dhamma. Many of the Ajaan Man's disciples also can connect with the Devas. There's only a special group of Devas, not all Devas. It's just like people, there's a special group of people who like Dhamma. So they always seek for Dhamma. They try to find, if they hear news about there's a teaching somewhere, then they will try to attend if they can. Just like you find out that there's a Dhamma teaching here, right? So when you die, you'll probably go looking for the more Dhamma teaching from some other noble disciples somewhere, if they can connect with you.
Yes, I do the comparations in our world, in our normal world. A person have much rich, not have suffering. That person not need Dhamma, né, Bante? That person is very happiness.
But
And,
not fulfilling. It's the happiness that is not fulfilling.
yes.
So they might want something more.
Yes.
After you eat the same thing for a while, your happiness become boring, right? If you eat the same ice cream every day.
Yes.
So you want something different to make you more happier.
The impression is that not boring, né? But I know them. I know is a Nietzsche. I know is one time is get off. Né? I know them. But the impression is in present is no boring, né, Bante? But anicca is anicca is anicca, né, Bante? Not fight with anicca.
Okay.
Is good to be in tranquility, né, Bante? It's good, né?
Yes, that's the best type of happiness. The Buddha said, the happiness from tranquility or calm,
Yes,
the highest form of happiness,
yes.
better than the happiness that you get from sensual objects.
No, sensual object is for people not to know Dhamma, né, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
The peoples have no Dhamma,
That's right.
not
That's
interested in sensual objects.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're lucky you have discovered the real happiness.
The real happiness is sunyata, Bante.
That's right, being alone by yourself.
For Jana, knowing.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see, go to Martina. Hi, Martina. Where are you from?
Good evening, Tanajan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you have to speak louder, closer maybe.
Okay. I'm from Indonesia.
Yes. Do you have any question?
Yes. So during meditation, I experienced this blissful state. And then as I continue to focus on the meditation object, suddenly one-pointedness happened. But I just want to check whether this is actually jhana or not.
One-pointedness happened. You might become one and become still, not thinking.
The mind is focusing on one object, and there are flashes of thoughts, but it is in the background and it cannot pull me there.
Good, then just stay with the one object. Don't be distracted by anything. Just keep on focusing your mind.
So is this a jhana or samadhi, or it is just one-pointedness?
Well, it doesn't matter the name. Just as long as you get there, as long as you feel good and you're calm, peaceful, then it is good enough. Don't try to figure out the name because you know maybe it can be wrong.
Okay.
Just figure the real thing. If it makes you happy, if it makes your mind calm and peaceful, and have upekkha, that's the goal of practice, is to have upekkha. No emotion left in your mind. No love, hate, fear, or delusion.
Okay, Ajahn. And another question is, if somebody has entered a jhana, then is it forever or it is just temporary?
Temporarily. You cannot stay in jhana all the time because you have to come back and look after your body.
Oh, so if somebody stop practicing jhana, then the skill is gone.
It could be gone. You have to keep practicing to maintain the skill or to increase the skill.
Okay, and then when there is flashes of thoughts in the background, is it normal? Is it okay during meditation?
Yes, it's normal because it means your mind hasn't yet become fully absorbed yet.
Oh, so do you have any advice on what to do so that the mind can be really absorbed?
Continue on watching your meditation object.
Okay. Also, another question is, how long do I have to stay on that meditation object?
As long as possible.
Okay.
Until your mind become fully absorbed and become still, then you don't need the meditation object.
Okay. I think that's all for now, Tanajan.
Okay.
Thank you
good.
very much.
All right. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm just listening in tonight. No questions. Thank you.
Okay. Philip and Adeline from Kuala Lumpur.
Good evening, Tanajan. Can you hear me?
Louder, can you speak louder?
Oh, good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any questions tonight.
Okay. I'll go to Monica then. Hi, Monica. From Malaysia also. From KL. Are you from KL also?
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm from Johor Bahru.
Johor Bahru.
Yes. Right. Today I actually wanted to ask something. Is actually many years ago I started to know about Buddhism by joining a society. So, but this society has since last time always introduced many traditions from Burma, from Sri Lanka, and also lately from later on then from Thailand. But of late, I've been going to this forest tradition monastery. So, but I feel that if I support the society, I find that there's a certain thing that they can't fulfill what I want, because now I've been going to the monastery, and I find that I can practice like the Thai tradition, the chanting and the meditation, and then talking about Buddha and all this, which I find it very helpful for me, because I need the samadhi rather than going straight into vipassana. So my question is, if I were to continue to support the society, which I find a bit reluctant, may I know what is the advice from Ajaan?
If you think the society is doing good work for maybe other people, maybe not for you, maybe for someone who hasn't yet understand or know the teaching, if they still doing good work, and you can support them, but you don't have to be attending the monastery. You don't have to go to the temple. You go to the other temples that you can benefit from your practice. But you can still continue and support it if you think that they are doing good work, maybe for some other people, not for you.
Oh, this one is a society. It's not a temple or monastery. It's just that they are doing like a education hub to groom young children, maybe adults who are new to Buddhism. But then they are teaching a lot, is it? They are teaching Abhidhamma, then they are teaching, I would say a lot of studying.
Well, it's up to you. This is something that you have to decide whether it's worth your money or not to support something. If you don't think it's worth it, maybe you should support some other groups, which might be more worthwhile for your money.
Okay. Yeah, because the monastery I'm going to, they have more than 10 monks there. So at all times, they have a lot of monks. Okay. So I think they need a lot of support.
Okay. Yeah, you have to use discernment to, you have to use rationality when you want to do something. You want to see the result of your action, where it is needed most and most beneficial.
Then the other thing is that I have read that one article by Thanissaro Bhikkhu where he mentioned that actually the beginning of all conflicts start from objectification. What is Tan Ajaan's further clarification on this?
What do you mean by objectivity?
Objectification means that some things like, people claim like they sort of like take themselves as some object, and then after that they want to claim territory. Yeah,
I think he means that everything comes from a self.
Okay.
When there's a self, then there will be conflict with the other self, because each self wants to provide things for itself. So they sometimes, when they try to get the same resources, then they will have to have conflict. But if there's no self, then there's no need to go seek for anything. If the mind can return to its original, its true state, which is merely knowing, then there's no need to have any conflict with anybody. Because in that state you are happy. You don't need to have anything to make you happy. But as soon as your mind is being aroused by the sense of a self, then you feel that you have to get something for yourself to make yourself happy.
Okay. All right.
So you have to kill this self by stop thinking about yourself, and by meditating a lot to get it into jhana. That's when the self will temporarily stop. And you'll discover that having no self is better than having a self.
Okay. Right. So the only thing to solve the problem is actually to see into anatta, am I right?
Yes, and you need to meditate. You have to get into jhana. That's when you will see the anatta. But you can only stay in there briefly. When you come out, then you have to use your thought to remind that everything is anatta. There's no self. No need to fight, no need to go after, compete for resources or anything. Because each of our mind is complete in itself. It doesn't need to have anything. But the delusion doesn't know this. The mind with delusion doesn't know this. Because the mind that's delusional is constantly craving for things to make it happy. Because it never had entered into jhana before. So you want to train the mind to enter into jhana, to see what it's like when the mind is not craving, when the mind is not creating self. Then you see that there's peace and happiness in that state of mind.
Okay.
And when you come out of that state, you want to keep reminding your mind that don't go after anything. Because everything you go after will sooner or later cause you more suffering than happiness. Because they are temporary, they are impermanent.
So that means the mind that is peaceful is actually the mind of abundance. Am I right?
The mind of what?
Of abundance.
What do you mean?
That means it's like it's complete on its own compared to a mind of scarcity. That means like everything we want it like never enough.
That's
Is it
right.
so? Yes.
Because what makes the mind scarcity mind is the craving. See? Once you have craving, no matter how much you have, it's never enough, right? If you have 1 million, you want to have 10 million more. If you have 10 million, you want 100 million, so forth. Keep going, keep multiplying, never content. Look at all the billionaires. Ask them if they have enough money yet. They will all say no, even though they know they cannot spend all of them, right, in their lifetime. But still, the mind still hunger for more. So you have to stop this craving. Once you stop craving, you have contentment. You become full. You become complete. You don't feel like you need anything anymore. And that's why meditation is very important to reach, to retrain the mind.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
Okay. And what is important for meditation is mindfulness. So you have to practice mindfulness from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Try to stop your thoughts as much as possible.
Now I'm using the word non-reactive. Is helping.
No
it's quite effective
no
now.
thinking, no thinking.
Yeah, no
Stop
thinking and no
stop
reaction.
Thinking. Stop talking to yourself. What do you want to keep talking to yourself for all day long?
Yeah. Okay.
Just watching, just merely watching, observing. Okay. All right, next, Johanna. Johanna from Indonesia.
Hello, good evening, Ajahn.
Yes.
Ajahn, actually, there is a question that's been bothering me about the knowing mind. I wonder when we go to sleep, actually, where does the knowing mind go, Ajahn? Like when we go to sleep, we skip for hours from we go to sleep and wake up, like just skip the hours. Then where does the knowing mind go, Ajahn?
The knowing mind doesn't go anywhere. It's always there.
But we don't know anything when we go to sleep.
Because you have no mindfulness. When you have no mindfulness, you know, but you don't know that you know. Like when you're dreaming. See? When you dream, you know, right? You know you're dreaming. But you don't know you don't know that it's a dream, right? You think it's real, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about when we go to sleep but have no dream?
Okay, sometimes your mind just lazy, so it doesn't dream. That's all. It doesn't mean you have to dream every night. You don't dream every night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the knowing mind is just right there.
It's always there. The knowing is always there. But it doesn't know without mindfulness. It's not aware of what it knows.
Oh, so Ajahn means that when our mindfulness gets stronger, then when we go to sleep, we can know.
No, when you go to sleep, you stop your mindfulness.
Oh.
Because you want to rest your mind, so you don't do anything. You don't use mindfulness. You want to rest the mind.
Yeah.
And rest the body, mainly. And to rest the mind, you should go into samadhi instead. That's real resting. That's when you stop your thoughts and perceptions.
Oh, okay. Okay, Ajahn.
Okay. Don't worry about this thing. Just worry about mindfulness.
Yeah. Okay, Ajahn.
Try to find mindfulness. Mindfulness is like your key to your automobile. If you can't find your key, you cannot drive your car.
Yeah, okay, Ajahn.
If you have no mindfulness, you cannot drive your mind into nirvana. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Next,
thank you, Ajahn.
Siddhartha, also from Indonesia.
Good evening, Thanachan. I cannot think any question for now, so maybe later.
Maybe not at all. You think
maybe not
you
at
have
all.
too much question already.
Yes.
Why don't you try to do what you already know? That is stop thinking, stop questioning for now. You don't need to know so much right now. Just know how to stop your thinking. That's all you need to know.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Thanachan.
Okay. Really, the sister of Siddhartha. Are you in the same house?
No. Siddhartha has moved to a kind of a meditation center in the Medan, one of the city in Indonesia. So he will start his retreat there, and I'm still staying at home. So my question today is, after following your advice last week, suddenly I realized all my like bad behavior, bad attitude in the past, and then my mind becomes depressed, Thanachan, and the bad thoughts are overwhelming, like self-criticizing. The good thing is that was the first time I realized that I was that bad, like 2-3 days I was very depressed and have some panic attack, like become very sad. I can't think properly, like everything is very overwhelming. like suddenly the mind is blank. I tried to use Buddha, but the bad thoughts are overwhelming. And at times, it's like I want to break from the practice. This is enough. I mean, I want to go to like sensual pleasure, but then when I want to go to sensual pleasure, I feel guilty at the same time. So I try to resist. Yeah, so it has happened from Tuesday until actually just before I talked to you, I was still like confused. How can I explain myself? Because like when I have panic attack, then I have like the shivering and everything becomes all wrong. But at the same time, I also want to strengthen my practice again, build up my diligence again. So I can see that when I can focus for some time on my walking meditation, I can overcome the stress, the panic attack, and the mind become normal again. But then as I continue walking, then the bad thoughts are overwhelming again. I lose my mindfulness, and then the panic attack come again. I used to be diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder in the past, so I tend to get stressful in the crisis. So I had took medicine like antidepressant for 7 years before I start to meditate. I mean, after I start to meditate, I can stop the medication, and the mind is quite okay. I can feel normal, but it's like now sometimes I can manage with my meditation, but sometimes it's like this is too much. So when it is uncontrollable, so I talk to my parents to get some diversion. Yeah, so Thanachan, I think I can only say
you're not hanging on to your mindfulness. That's the problem. You let go of your mindfulness. When you let go of your mindfulness, then your delusion, your defilement will take over your mind. So hang on to your mindfulness all the time. Never let go of your mindfulness. Keep reciting the mantra or do some chanting or something, just to prevent your mind from thinking. Because your mind will be thinking with your defilements, driving your thoughts. So you have to persevere, you have to be persistent with your mindfulness at this stage until you can take control of your mind. Then the need to use strong mindfulness will decrease you, because your mind will be more or less under control, and it will be easier to control it. But now it's like a wild horse, so you need to have really strict discipline with yourself, with your mind, with mindfulness. Or else you'll just be flip-flopping back and forth like you mentioned. When you have mindfulness, your mind is calm. When you don't have mindfulness, then your mind starts to go crazy again. Okay? So mindfulness is the key. Don't try to rationalize any other reason. The only reason is you don't have mindfulness to control your thoughts, to control your mind. If you have mindfulness, your thoughts will be still, will be under the control. You can direct your thought in the right way, in the right direction. All right?
all right.
Okay.
Okay,
Next,
thank you,
Pui
Thanachan.
Ponsi from Luxembourg.
Good afternoon ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
You're not working today, huh?
Today, I'm not working. I stay home because I have a little bit sick. Yeah, but it will be okay. Yeah, I have no question. I just come to listen.
Okay.
I
Enjoy
just
your
want to
listening.
have the bed with.
Okay. Nice to see you.
Yes, I follow your teaching every day, every morning. I listen and I do meditation morning. I praying morning, evening, every day. Yeah.
Good.
I tie my bed.
Okay. Keep on doing it. Okay.
Yes, I do.
It will make
Thank
you
you very much.
happy. Okay.
I wish you a good health
Thank you.
and thank you very much for your teaching. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Professor, you're next. Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Thanajan. I have no questions at the moment. Thank you.
All right. Darren from Singapore. Darren. Go ahead. You just turn up your mic again. Okay, go ahead. Somehow your sound doesn't come through.
Sorry.
All right,
Sorry,
okay.
Ajahn. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm saying that today I have no question. I'm just listening in. Wishing Ajahn well.
All right. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajahn. Hey, no questions for now.
No question.
Enjoy lesson.
All right. Alvin again. Is this Alvin with the name Megan or no?
Oh yeah, it's Alvin. Sorry, I changed my device. Sorry, I've got no question.
All right. Then go to B, Ravin Chinnapon from Bangkok.
Good evening, Thanajan. I have a couple of questions. The first question is, sometimes when I meditate and I can achieve some level of calm, I tend to get a bit lazy, as in I don't contemplate. Sometimes when my mind is calm, I just want to stay in calm for as long as possible. And even sometimes coming out, I still just want to enjoy the calm. Is that okay to do, or I need to contemplate every time I come out of meditation?
It depends on what you want. If you want to relax, enjoy your calmness, then you can do that. But you won't move forward from that point. If you want to move further up, you have to start teaching your mind to think in terms of the three characteristics of existence. Like when you see your body or other people's body, you should say this is impermanent. There's no self in this body. This body is just an accumulation of the four elements. And one day it will disperse again back to the four elements. So this is something you want to keep reminding yourself so that you can let go of your attachment to your body or other people's body. So that when things happen to this body, it will not bother you because you know that this is something that will happen sooner or later. But if you don't do it, it won't come automatically. You'll forget, and when something happens to your body, you'll get worried. You get it. But if you keep constantly reminding yourself of this fact, then when something happens to your body, say, "Yeah, I know it. It's gonna happen. I'm waiting for you to come." You know. So that's the purpose of contemplation after you come out of meditation. But you don't have to do it right away. You know, maybe you can take a few minutes, relax, and then when your mind starts to think, when you start to think in the wrong direction, think about what would happen to me in the future, for instance. Then you should talk back to your mind, say, nothing will happen to you in the future except aging, sickness, and death. That's for sure, So keep reminding yourself this, then you don't worry too much about the future. because you know your future is already set for you, for all of us, for all of us, our body. Everybody's future is already set. Aging, sickness, and death. The only difference is the time, when and where, how soon or how late, but it will happen. So you want to keep training your mind to be able to accept this truth when it happens. Ask yourself, am I ready to get old? Am I ready to get sick? Am I ready to die? This is the thing that you want to train yourself, because these are like your opponent, like you are a boxer, right? You know you one day you have to go into the ring and fight with your opponent. So you want to train yourself before you go up, so that you don't get knocked out by your opponent when you go up in the ring. So you want to keep practicing, teaching your mind to be ready for the eventuality of the body. And everything else that you possess besides your body. Everything that you possess are all subjected to the law of impermanence. That you cannot keep or be with them forever. Sooner or later, one of you will have to be separate. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready for these things when they happen?
So the reason that we are scared of aging, sickness, and death is because we cannot separate our mind from the body yet, correct? Our mind is still clinging to the body. We think the body belongs to us. So when something's going to happen to the body, we become scared.
But you already meditate, and you could exist without the body for a while when you meditate.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
Then you can say, okay, so what? I don't need the body. I can exist alone without the body. So why should I care about the body? That's because when you come on your meditation, your need for the body returns. Why when you're meditating, your need for the body disappears temporarily.
Yeah.
So you didn't need the body when you meditate, when you enter into calm. But after you come out of calm, then you want to use the body for whatever purpose you want. You just have to remind yourself of the temporariness of the body. The body don't last forever. It's not going to be healthy forever. Sooner or later, things going to happen to your body and to the body of the people you love.
It's inevitable.
It's the truth, right?
Yes.
The first truth, first noble truth, aging, sickness, and death.
They're suffering.
And the cause of suffering is your clinging or your attachment to these things, to this body. You want the body to last forever, to live forever, not to get old, not to get sick, not to die.
And then we need the third one, the nirodha, the cessation of the suffering.
That happens when you let go of your attachment, by seeing with wisdom the three characteristics of existence of the body. That's why you have to keep contemplating to get this wisdom into your mind. Right now, it's in the text, it's in the book, it's in other people's words, but not in your mind. You keep forgetting that you're gonna get old, get sick, and die. All right.
Yes. And then the last one is the Noble Eightfold Path, which is what we need to apply to our life.
There's meditation and wisdom, vipassana, contemplation. This is the tip of the spear. Why the other thing like sila and it's just the handle.
So sila is a tool to help us with our meditation.
It supports your meditation, and your meditation supports your contemplation.
Oh yes, so it comes in steps: sila, samadhi, and then panya.
That's right. You have samadhi, then if you don't want to move, you don't contemplate, then you don't move up to the next level.
Yes, that's true. So I need to start contemplating.
This is the reason why some people takes a long time to achieve enlightenment. From a sotapanna, some sotapanna might take 7 lifetimes. Some might just take 7 days. Some might take 7 months. Some might take 7 years. It depends how diligent they do their practice, especially the contemplation practice. But this has to follow meditation. This has to follow ubeka first. You have to have ubeka to be able to contemplate effectively.
Yes, Thanajan, I was listening to, I think, one of your teachings earlier. You mentioned that a lay person can become a sotapanna, but it's slower because there's a lot of distractions in our lives. So I'm trying to take that as encouragement that if I really focus and be diligent and not lose commitment, then hopefully one day, sooner or later, I can hopefully get there.
Don't hope, do it. You can do it now. Hoping won't get you there. It's doing that gets you there. Okay.
Yes.
You pass the stage of hoping now. You're on the stage of doing now.
Yes. That's true, Thanajan. I need to just do it. Nike, just do it.
Yeah. Okay, try it. Next week, let me know how you do with your contemplation.
All right, Thanajan. Thank you very much for your teachings today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Forrest Tong from Boston.
Hi, Thanajan. Thank you for teaching today. I have a couple questions. So one question I have, since I'm working temporarily before I return back to the monastery, and I've been kind of stressed at work, and I know that part of the problem is that I have the desire for my manager to see me well and the fear of her seeing me poorly. So I'm wondering if there's any contemplation I can apply to stop worrying about how my manager sees me.
Well, you have to treat her like the weather. You cannot force the weather. You cannot force it to look at you. Even if you try to do your best, if she doesn't like you, she will still think you're not doing your best. So don't hope, don't expect anything from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot force it.
Yeah.
Just take it, whatever she wants to give it to you. If she wants to be nice to you, fine. If she doesn't want to be nice to you, that's also okay.
Okay. I see. And then another question I have, so sometimes if my family members are arguing, then I start getting tense and wanting to react. So how can I stop myself from reacting when people are arguing?
It's not your business. Just tell yourself, it's not your business. What happened when you're not there, when they're arguing? Right? You didn't have to interfere, right? You just can't stop yourself, that's all. You don't have enough ubeka.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to practice more mindfulness. When you start to feel like engaging, then you should use mantra to stop it. Just chant, just recite Bhutto, 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 or walk away from the situation and let them argue it out for themselves.
So would walking away not be considered reacting?
No, it's It's just getting away, not reacting. But to stop you from reacting, if you stay there, you react, right? So when you walk away, you stop reacting. If you cannot stay there and not reacting, then the alternative is to get away. And then, well, but the best way is to stay there and not reacting. You can do it. Just watching. Just become just a knower. Don't be an actor. That's the goal of your practice. When you meditate, you want to reach the stage of knowing, right? Not acting. So you want to apply this in real time, in real life. Not just in meditation. Meditation is just a practice for you to learn to be the knower. But you have to apply it in real life, in real time. Whenever you run into any situation, good or bad, just remain knowing, don't react. Then whatever happens, happens. If the body should die, let it die. What can you do? It's not your body anyway in the first place, and it's gonna die anyway, whether you react or not react. So your goal is not to protect your body. Your goal is to protect your mind from reacting. Because when the mind reacts, it suffers.
I see. Thank you for the explanation, Thanajan.
Okay. And then another question? Or this is it?
This is it. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Mandy Smith. Where are you from? This is your first time, I think, in this room.
Thank you, Ajaan. I've been so grateful to be able to chime in on here and be able to see others that are striving. And I'm from Niagara Falls, Canada.
Okay.
And I've just endured a lot of pain and stress and over the last few years, and meditation has been the only solace. So I truly believe in this practice. Thank you.
Good. Do you have any question tonight?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. Keep on practicing. Using mindfulness. Be mindful all the time. You can stop a lot of stress by being mindful, by stopping your thought from thinking.
Yes. Lily's comment really helped me too.
Yeah. If you should think, just think of anicca, dukkha, anatta, and then, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Next, Bruce Lee from Indonesia.
Evening,
Question from you?
no question tonight, Ajaan. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, Se Yuan from Singapore.
Hi, Ajaan. No questions from me as well.
All right, Sri and Chek from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajaan.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Ajaan, just now you said to forest by reacting, we hurt our mind. So every time we react to something, we hurt our mind, Ajaan?
Usually with defilement. You normally react with love or aversion. Then you have dukkha in your mind. But if you react without love or aversion, then there's no dukkha. But for most people, they will react with love or aversion, with like or dislike. But if you react without any emotion, then there will be no dukkha. This is for enlightened people. They react without emotion. They merely react because they have to react. Like if somebody say hello to you, you say hello back. But you don't feel happy or sad from this. Yes. But with normal people, when somebody don't say hello to them, they get sad. And when they say hello to you, they get happy, they become happy. This is reacting with emotions. Just giving you an example.
So practically, now that you mentioned, then
everything that you do, every time you react, it's causing you some stress without you knowing it.
Oh.
Sometimes the stress comes in forms of happiness, but you don't know that this is a down payment of your stress, because what you're happy with what you get, when you lose it, then you become sad. Like you win a lottery, you win money from lottery, you are very happy. Then the stress comes in as to how you should look after this money, how should you spend this money.
Yeah.
It's they call a dukkha in disguise, not a blessing in disguise. When you get something you like, it's a suffering in disguise, not a blessing in disguise. Because you're happy with what you get, but when you lose what you like, then you become sad again. But if you're not happy with what you get, when you lose it, you will not be sad what you lose, because you're not happy getting it in the first place. But you get it because you're given it, and as a courtesy, you accept it. That's all. Like we monks go on Bintabat collecting food. We get food, but we should not react with happiness. Oh, I like this food, I like that food. You just like accept it. Or the food you don't like, you still accept it the same way. That you accept the food that you like or not like, or neutral. They're just food for your body, not for your mind. So normally for people with defilement, they will always react with aversion or attraction, like or dislike. That's because they don't have equanimity. But when you practice meditation, when you start to have jhana, you start to have equanimity. And then your mind will be more rational than being emotional. So I always stress to meditate to get to this equanimity thing. Then you start to see a real change in your life. If not, it's all the knowledge you know doesn't change anything. You have to change your mind from being emotional to be non-emotional, and you start to see the real change in yourself. But the practice of dana sila also give you some change, but not when you give dana, you lessen your greed and your attachment to your money, your possession. When you keep the sila, you lessen your reaction to hurt other people. But the real change will come when you meditate, when you get your mind to equanimity. Then your reaction to things and people will change. People will be surprised. How come you change? Before you used to get angry, you used to get mad. Now you seem to be just, cool and calm and collected. That's what you get with equanimity. That's Alfredo.
Mr. Equanimity.
Okay, you got any question?
Down payment, Ajahn. Just now you used the word down payment. I always like your
analogy.
Really, really cool. I don't have any questions.
Ajahn, like after we meditate, like when we come out, should we pick a subject like to contemplate, or should I go to the things that I feel like suffering, then I go and contemplate?
Well, you deal with the objects that cause you suffering first. Try to alleviate the suffering of that object. If you are attached to something, and you worry about that something, then you really have to look at the nature of that something, whether it's lasting or not lasting.
Oh, okay. Sure.
You worry because you're going to lose that something, but in truth, will you be able to prevent it from losing it should the time come?
Oh.
This is contemplating the truth. The truth is you're going to lose everything sooner or later.
Yeah.
But you tend to forget this fact, right? And you try to cling to things and say, oh, I don't want to lose my house, I don't want to lose my car, lose my wife and husband and so forth. But the truth is you're going to lose them all one day.
Mm. So when I see the suffering, and then I use the concept of tilakkhana.
Yeah.
Trying to see these three characteristics.
Because your suffering is caused by your attachment or your desire for those things to be with you, to continue to give you happiness or pleasure. And when you run out of your favorite drinks, what you do? You worry. Before you run out of your favorite drink, you worry, where am I going to get my coffee? Where am I going to get my tea?
Yeah.
So if you should worry, then you should tell yourself, maybe it's time for you to quit drinking coffee and drinking tea. Then there won't be no problem. By looking for a place to buy tea or coffee, to get tea or coffee, or anything that you don't really need. That your body don't need, your mind needs them, but they are all like addiction, they are all like drugs that you can live without. You don't have to have essential objects to keep you happy. So when you come out of your meditation, you just say, I don't need any more of the essential objects. I don't need coffee, I don't need tea, I don't need anything. If I want to be happy, I go back to meditate instead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't need my wife and...
Yeah, go back to meditate.
Okay.
When you want to be happy, use meditation. Don't use other things, because everything is all other things are impermanent, not reliable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tan.
Next, Anjira. Anjira, where are you from? Chiang Mai, Bangkok.
I'm from Bangkok.
Bangkok. You have any question?
Yes. I have a question. To be able to get a good merit from donation, is it true that we have to pay back all the money the parents used to raise us before? For example, if the parents give us raise us with 1 million, and we have to return 1 million back to the parents first in order to get any good merit from donation.
Well, the Buddha said you will never be able to repay your debt to your parents, no matter how much money you give them. Because what they give you is not something that you can buy with money. Your life, you cannot be bought with money. But the Buddha said the only way to pay back your debt for your parents is to make them become a Sotapanna.
Okay, but if they raise us for 1 million baht, right, and then we didn't return that much, and then all the money we spend for donation is belong to the parents, not us, right?
No, it still belongs to you. All the money that you donate to other people belongs to you. You don't need to worry about repaying them the amount, the exact amount. Just repay them when they need your help, okay? When they're old and they cannot looking after themselves, then this is the time for you to repay back your debt. Understand? Right now, if they can look after themselves, you don't really have to look after them. But when they will need your help, need your support, then it's the time for you to pay back.
Okay.
Is that all?
Actually, we cannot compare the money as material for the debt to our parents, right?
No, because your body worth more than 1 million baht, right? If somebody pay you 1 million and takes your life, would you allow them to do it?
Okay. Now my last question is, why could not we born with the past life memory?
What do you mean?
Like, would the world is better if we can remember that there's a karma going on for the past life, and we need to do good merit?
Well, if you can, that will be good for you. If you can, then you just have to believe in the Buddha.
Okay. But why we don't have the memory of our past life?
You don't have enough ability to recollect your past life. You have to practice meditation. Then you might be able to recollect your past life.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let me go to Ami.
So much.
Ami Jalil. Hi, from London. You have to unmute your mic first. Not unmute yet. Okay.
Good morning, Ajaan. How are you doing?
Good. I'm from Toronto.
From Toronto, yes.
Toronto.
Thank you very much. I'm listening. I don't have any question.
All right. Okay, nice to see you.
Thank you. Same here.
Everything goes well?
Everything
okay?
went well. Thank you. Yes, I had my surgery 2 weeks ago and I'm in perfect health right now.
Okay. Let me go to Facebook now for more questions.
We have 9 questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay.
First question from Xiao Chang. Ajahn, normally our mind tend to fly anywhere during meditation. Do we have to force the mind to concentrate on meditation object and just wander without using the force? It's very difficult to let the mind to one-pointedness. Thank you.
You use mindfulness. You have to something to tie your mind from running away, to think about other things. So you use the breath when you meditate, or you use the mantra. When you have the mantra or the breath, then eventually your thought will stop. But not at first. When you first starting, your thought still keep thinking, but you just ignore your thought and keep focused on your mantra or on your breath. And if your focus become more consistent, more continuous, then your thought will eventually disappear.
And 2 questions from Tony Yap. The first question is, Dearท่านอาจารย์ good evening. Why, when Buddha time, a lay person just listen to the Dhamma talk from Buddha or from his ordained monks, the lay person can become a Sotapanna, Sakithakhami, Anakami, or Arahant. So why the lay person can be so fast to become Arya and without practice any meditation, but nowadays even listen to the Dhamma repeatedly, but still cannot become Arya? Is it because of Buddha? Hopeท่านอาจารย์ can explain about it. Thank you.
Because they might already have upekkha. Once they have upekkha and once the Buddha taught the truth, then they can stop their desire, their craving, their attachment. Without upekkha, like us, we've been listening to Dhamma talks for years and years, and we cannot stop our cravings and our attachment. So we need to have upekkha. Once we have upekkha and we know that our attachment or our cravings are the cause of our suffering, then we just stop. We can stop right away. So you need to build up upekkha in your mind. equanimity in your mind.
And the second question from Tony Yap is, Dear Thanachan, for Pavana, what should come first? Listen to the Dhamma, read Dhamma books, or practice meditation? If listen Dhamma or read Dhamma book, which Dhamma can be trusted? Is it the four Nikaya? Hope Thanachan can be explained. Thank you.
If you want to meditate, you first have to learn how to meditate. You have to know how to meditate. If you already know how to meditate, then you don't need to study the books or the scriptures. If you don't know, then you have to study. And it's very simple to learn how to meditate. One word, mindfulness. That's all you have to know, how to develop mindfulness. Once you know how to develop mindfulness, then you can meditate successfully.
Next question from Madison Weather. Ajahn, I was cleaning the house and in the midst of it, my kids suddenly go to the living room to meditate. My husband said that if I make noise and disturb their meditation, I would go to hell. Is it true? I have no intention of disturbing them or was trying to do things as soft as possible. Thank you.
No, this kind of action doesn't cause you to go to hell. The action that causes you to go to hell is like killing with intent, with hatred, for instance. Otherwise, you won't go to hell. And if you didn't do it intentionally, then there would be no result of any bad karma on your part. You have to have intent to hurt someone, to disturb someone, before it become cost you any result from your action.
Second question of Pouring Soon is, Pouring Soon have two questions. First question is how to learn the meaning of aversion, illusion, defilement, and practice wisdom. Thank you.
You have to study, look up in the dictionary if you don't understand a word. Or if you have a teacher to explain to you. But I don't have time to do it now. So I let you do it yourself because it's not impossible for you to learn, to teach yourself.
And second question is Vipassana not regard about formal sitting meditation? Thank you.
You can do Vipassana in any position, walking, standing, sitting, or even lying down. When you're sick, for instance, sick in bed, and you're about to die, you can contemplate on the nature of your body as being impermanent, that it's gonna die, and contemplate that it's just a combination of the four elements. It's not you, you're not in the body.
Next question from Yapto. Namaste, Ajahn. I have a question. What is the will of Buddhism in releasing animals into the habitat? Can it call dana? Thank you.
It's an act of charity, of loving kindness. You don't want to put animals in cage. You want to have them to have the same freedom that you have. So you release them into the natural habitat.
Two questions from Liao Ying Meng. The first question is, can one who is in deep meditation experiences the disappearance of physical body? Is that experiencing the infinite consciousness? What should one do then? Thank you.
When you fully absorb, the mind will have no knowledge of the body. It's temporarily disconnect from the body, from the sensual objects. And then the mind will experience the space of the mind, the empty space of the mind. You can call that consciousness or whatever, but it's not really important to know the name. What's important is to get there. Don't worry about the name. Just try to get to the point where the mind and the body temporarily separated from each other.
And second question from Liu Ying Meng is, how can one improve and enhances of one quality of meditation when one practices meditation every day? Thank you.
You have to increase your mindfulness to be more mindful, more continuous, and longer duration. Try to maintain mindfulness all day long if it's possible. Then when you meditate, the meditation will be better. You can enter into meditation, into calm quicker, easier, and stay in the calm longer.
Next question from Soon Hin Yoon. ท่านอาจารย์ is it okay for the beginner to meditate anywhere, like in a garden or secluded place? Will some spirits enter your body? Thank you.
No spirit can enter your body or your mind. So don't worry about this thing. When you first meditate, it's always, whether your first time or long time, it's always nice to have a quiet environment to meditate. It will be more conducive to your success, more helpful to your success than meditating in what you call disturbing environment.
That's all question right now, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Anybody would like to ask any more question? You're welcome. Just raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Okay, Sajalka.
I hope you can hear me, Ajaan.
Perfectly.
This is the question of the anger, really, and I know that you mentioned that many times that that is your teaching. I mean, the teacher's teaching, Buddha's teaching. That is the one that we want to practice. Not put the teachers or the Buddha on a pedestal and worship him like a god or something like that. Having said that, I still found myself in like angry, like way back when I was not even into Buddhism and stuff, when the Bamiyan Buddha statue was actually demolished somewhere in Afghanistan and stuff like that. I was very agitated, but that was way back then. But more recently, like when somebody is saying something about a person, a teacher who is considered an arahant by many people, like Ajahn Chah, that's something that he did physically to himself, and that was just last week, and I found myself over the whole week quite angry, and I don't know why that should happen to me, and I think that what would be the wisdom that I would actually get from the Dhamma to deal with these things, that the teachers this thing, like if somebody is willingly or not willingly disparaging a teacher who could very well be an arahant, I'm thinking whether that right speech can actually is really right, because if it doesn't care for the sensibility of the people who believe in the teacher, and this is like somebody spitting on your father's picture, because the father may be long gone, but the picture is still kind of symbolically represent that person. So I'm in like a little bit of a quandary, because the anger actually shouldn't come, and how should I look at it so that in future I don't have to defend Dhamma. Dhamma can defend itself, and all I'm supposed to do is just practice. So, but the anger still came, and it persisted with me the whole week, and I didn't want to ask this question in the beginning, because I think I didn't want to put you on the off track, but I would really like to hear your words on this.
Well, your anger arises from your expectation. You expect people to think the same way you think. So when they don't do the same way you do, then you get angry at them. So you have to look at people like you look at the weather again. Look at the wind and the snow. You cannot force the wind and the snow to do what you want them to do, right? They do what they want to do. So with other people, they can mistreat the Buddha, they can mistreat the noble disciple. That's something that we cannot stop them from doing. So you have to look and expect that this thing can happen because of their ignorance. Had they known, had they have the same knowledge as you have, then they would probably treat the Buddha and the noble disciple like the way you treat them. But right now they don't know anything about this, the Buddha or the noble disciple. So they just thought maybe they're just some crazy people. So don't expect anything from other people. To expect the other people to see and do the same thing that you do. Because we have different knowledge, different understanding of things. Then you won't get angry. Then you won't get angry.
Thank you, Ajahn.
The disrespect doesn't change the Buddha or change the noble disciple. That doesn't make them less significant or less worthy of respect. It's just that they lack the knowledge of how worthy and respect the Buddha and his noble disciples are. That's all. Okay.
Yeah,
or you can
you.
look at anicca, anatta. I'm talking from the point of anatta. You cannot expect people to be the way you want it to be. Just like you cannot expect the weather. It's anatta. Anicca, we have different opinion, we have different understanding of things. Anicca can also mean difference in attitude, difference in understanding of things. Not the same. You can always apply the three characteristics of existence if you know how to use it to every dukkha situation. Whenever you have dukkha, it means you're not seeing things as anicca, dukkha, anatta. You're seeing things as self, as something, Okay, I hope this answers your question.
I think it has. Beautifully. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Next, Sayuan from Singapore. Sayuan, can you unmute your microphone? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Ajahn. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you for your sharing, Ajahn. So today, to a number of questions, you have been advising us to practice mindfulness. But the term mindfulness is also quite a loaded term. Like there's a lot of definitions, even in the secular context. And even amongst the Buddhist circle, different teachers have different ways of describing mindfulness. So for Ajahn, you have been describing mindfulness as keeping to the breath and being mindful of the body. But there are some times when we can't really keep to these objects, especially when we must engage in thinking to do our work. So I just thought to understand from Ajahn, like when you say mindfulness, what would Ajah's explanation on what it encompasses be?
To be focused on something, on one thing at a time. Don't multitask. Just if you want to sing, just focus on your thought. If you want to sing, stop moving your body. And then sit or stand and then just keep watching your thought. Let you sing until you don't need to sing anymore, then you stop before you walk or before you do something else. You want to focus only on one thing. But you don't want to focus on your thought because your goal is to stop your thought in the first place. So if you have mindfulness on your thought, it's not the right mindfulness that we want. The right mindfulness is the mindfulness without thinking, merely knowing. Like knowing your breath, knowing the mantra.
So
or knowing what your body is doing.
So when we have to work or to do things, we should just think and just do the thinking. But once we have finished it, then we should just switch the object to something that is like the breath or the body, which doesn't require proliferation of thought. Is there
Yeah, you want to stop thinking. Only think when you really have to.
Understand now. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else?
We have a new coming 840-806. Can you hear us?
840806. Hi.
Can you hear us? I asked them to unmute.
840806.
Yes, the one below.
Maybe it's just coming for fun.
I don't think so. Okay.
Okay, well, just go to somebody else.
Okay.
Anybody else would like to ask any question? Oh, Belinda, okay. And,
Ajahn, I just follow up a question from Johanna from Indonesia earlier. She mentioned about dreams, and Ajahn, sometimes when in the dream, mind is aware that inside the dream, I'm aware that I'm dreaming, like within the dream. But at the same time, there's very limited control. Like, for example, when I know I'm dreaming in an unpleasant situation, I wanted to wake up. I turned up that I thought I wake up, but inside, I was still inside the dream. Like, so there is some form of knowing that the mind is in a dream.
yes, there's knowing in the dream, but it's not knowing like you know when you're awake. It's two different.
Yeah, so I realized that knowing that there's very little control, like not able to wake up, or it's still be driven by defilement, like not wanting to be in a unpleasant situation. I wanted to wake up, but I cannot wake up. And I find that I went to next scene. But even though the mind is knowing, and that usually happens when in the daytime I practice mindfulness, and then that sort of knowing would be there. So can I comment on this?
Well, if it doesn't hurt you, then you don't need to worry about it. It's just something that happens to you, but it's not harmful to you. It's just part of your life, I guess.
Or sometimes when I can hear somebody snoring, I turn up, I was the one who is snoring. So
Okay.
the mind is
just know it for what it is. That's all.
okay. It's nothing dangerous, right?
Well, if it's dangerous, you won't be here now, right?
as in. So I just know and then let it go, right?
Yeah, just let it go. What can you do? It's an experience that comes and goes.
Yeah, there's no danger as in like mental distortion or things like that. So it's just that, I just find that I'm not sure.
It depends on how you treat them. If you don't treat them as anything, then they don't mean anything to you. If you think you start to treat them as something special, like psychic power or something, then this can be delusional on your part. So if you don't know anything, just leave it alone. Know it comes and know it goes. Anicca, anatta, you cannot stop it from happening. Just let it happen.
So I just one more question about cultivating equanimity, and a lot of people talk about entering jhana and all. And sometimes it's not easy to get to jhana unless normally for lay people we need to get to retreat settings. So sometime back when I heard one Longta Siri from Thailand, he came and he said that if just one jhana is not enough, you need to get to the second jhana to really appreciate or understand the emptiness. So, and at that point of time, I didn't have opportunity to clarify with Longta then. Because suppose if you have jhana before, and it has been a long time, like almost 8 years ago. Would that expire, like before you get to the next jhana, or like, you know, I don't know how to phrase this, Ajahn. So Ajahn, be able to guide me on that.
See, I'm not sure what you mean by jhana. If you mean the fourth jhana, if you once got the fourth jhana and you stop practicing, then it's already all gone. You have to get back in there again to get it back. So you have to, once you know how to enter to jhana, you keep doing it. You keep maintaining it and expanding it to cover more time, more area of your life. Because it's the best quality that you can have for yourself. It's the one that makes you really happy and content. So you don't want anything else. Once you really get to the real fourth jhana, then you're willing to give up everything that you used to enjoy, because they are incomparable to what you get from jhana. If you just think you got jhana and you never go back to it, then it's not the real jhana yet. It's the real jhana. Once you have a taste of it, you will be hooked to it forever. And it's just a matter of increasing it, doing more and more. Okay? So don't worry about what you had. It's already gone, and then you have to start over now.
Is that
start developing mindfulness.
Mm.
And start practicing, start meditating, stop thinking, stop watching TV, stop doing other things. Keep the 8 precepts. Then you will have a chance to get into jhana again. Okay? All right. Anybody? Any question? Any more questions for anybody? Bunla from Facebook. Okay, more questions from Facebook. Go ahead.
One question from YouTube and one question from Facebook. Ajahn. Question from YouTube from the Multiversal Unity. Dear Ajahn, we have lots and really detail of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. How can we continue to contemplate fast enough to prevent the tanha from their functioning?
Oh, you just have to practice, keep contemplating, keep looking at things as being anicca, dukkha, anatta as much as possible until you can see them all the time. And once you can see all the time, then your craving cannot come up, because you'll see that everything that you crave for will give you dukkha sooner or later, because of their impermanent nature, or their anatta nature. You cannot control them all the time.
Yes. Second question from the Multiversal Unity. Is there benefits to notice the mind natural entering and existing jhana by itself?
Oh, it won't enter by itself. You have to force it to get into jhana, because the mind likes to get into the television more than into jhana. So you have to pull it away from the television, from the coffee and teas and cookies and so forth, in order for it to get into jhana. It won't go into jhana by itself. If it does, then everybody don't have to need to meditate.
Two more questions, Ajahn, from Ting Ting Loon. The first question is, some people said mindfulness is recollection and remembering. Can Ajahn give me the advice?
I think that is sanya, not mindfulness. Sanya is perception or memory. When you remember something, that is sanya, not mindfulness.
And the second question is, I'm confused between the general mindfulness and the right mindfulness.
Well, I don't know what you mean by general mindfulness. Yeah. Right mindfulness is to focus your mind on one object, such as your body, your mantra, your breath if you're sitting in meditation. This is right mindfulness. To stop, the goal is to stop thinking. But general mindfulness means you might be aware, mindful of what you do, but you keep thinking about what you do. And this is not the right mindfulness.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Well, we have about 5 more minutes left. If anybody else has any question.
Sulan.
Sulan, she always come late. Huh? Sulan, okay.
Hello, Ajahn.
Any question from you?
Oh yeah. Just now I heard one of the question on like giving to our parents. So if we know that like our parents kind of gamble, so like and then the money that we give, the extra money that we give them, they would actually gamble away. Then is it still wise of us to give them
Yes,
money?
because your duty is to give them, and whatever how they spend their money is their business, not your business.
Okay. But even though we know that gambling is bad.
Oh, gambling.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. If you know they're gonna spend money on gambling, then you should not give them money. Give them something, give them food, or give something that they can use instead.
Okay.
Give them water. When you go visit them, buy water, buy food, buy things to put in the refrigerator for them.
Okay.
Don't give them money. If you know they're gonna spend on drugs, on alcohol, or on gambling, then you should not give them the money.
Okay.
Because you'll be supporting them to do to support their bad habits.
Okay. Yeah. That's I'm just sometimes I feel a bit upset when they gamble. Yeah.
You cannot stop them. It's their business, not your business.
Okay. Then then aside from this question, I think I've been feeling quite low recently. Yeah. Then I kind of get quite absent-minded. Then I just don't have the motivation to meditate. Yeah.
Well, it takes time. Maybe one day you will meditate. Right now, you might not need it yet. But sooner or later, when you find out everything that you used to make you happy no longer can make you happy, then you might want to turn to meditation instead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think there's so much to carry really, and I just don't feel like watching my mind.
But it might be too late when that time comes. So maybe you have to think hard. Maybe you should imagine that what happens if one day everything that you used to make you happy no longer makes you happy. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Maybe just imagine. Maybe that will inspire you. Maybe I should take up meditation now in case in the future when I find I can no longer rely on anything to make me happy. Then I can always rely on meditation to make me happy. Because everything is anicca, right? What happens if you should be incapacitated, be handicapped, in a wheelchair, and you cannot go anywhere like you used to go? Then you know you will need meditation to keep you happy. Right?
Yeah. I guess it's like the disillusion part. Yeah. I just don't feel like I don't have motivation to like.
That's why you have to think of the possibility of things happening to you, in which you will not be able to use anything to make you happy except meditation. And when that happens, if you don't know how to meditate, then you will suffer. But if you learn how to meditate now, when happen, then you will not suffer.
Okay. Because when I meditate, then it's kind of like watching the suffering within. I haven't reached that state where I get jhana. So
when you meditate, you suffer. That's why you don't want to meditate.
Huh? Sorry?
When you the reason why you don't want to meditate is because every time you meditate, you suffer.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy meditation. That's because you lack mindfulness. So before you meditate, you should develop mindfulness first. That's Felicia Chan. Felicia, she developed mindfulness all day long. Then she enjoyed meditation.
Yeah.
You cannot just jump in and meditate without mindfulness. Because you will feel uneasy when you have to meditate when you're not mindful. But when you have mindfulness, you'll feel it easy to meditate. So practice mindfulness first.
Okay.
You can do at least the first few minutes after you wake up, when you don't have to do anything with other people, when you have to wash your face, brush your teeth, just try to maintain mindfulness during that time.
I'm kind of scared of bad thoughts coming up in my meditation though.
Bad thought can come up anytime. It comes up all the time, you're not afraid. Every time you want to, because you like bad thoughts. Yeah. You like to go shopping, you like to go watch TV, you want to go drink or whatever. These are all bad thoughts, but you enjoy these things. So you don't consider them to be bad thoughts. But when you meditate, you start to think of ghosts and you're afraid.
Okay.
If you have mindfulness, you won't have any bad thoughts. So practice mindfulness first.
Okay.
Try to be mindful, watching your body, every movement of your body. Then when you meditate, you will not have bad thoughts coming up. Okay. All right. I think we ran out of time for tonight. Unless anybody else have any more questions. You do, Mandy? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Ajahn. I am curious, in walking meditation, what jhana can we get to? Is it just the first jhana, PT, or further?
Yes, you can get to the first or second, not the fourth, because in order to get to the fourth, the body has to be still.
Thank you.
Be Ravin.
Be Ravin.
Sorry, Ajahn, just a quick question. This is just out of curiosity. When monks do bintabat, alms round, you will often receive a lot of food, more than what is needed to fill your body. How do you choose what food you decide to eat? Is it out of mindfulness, out of appropriateness, out of, obviously it's not desire, but how do you choose what to eat?
It depends on each individual circumstances. Some monks, if they try to overcome the attachment to a certain type of food, then they try to avoid eating that food. They try to eat something that they're not attracted to so that they won't eat with cravings. But if you have no craving, then you just pick whatever you want to eat, no problem. Probably maybe for your health. Like eat a lot of vegetable, it's good for your body. You won't have any constipation. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So it's more medical. Once you have no defilement, then you will thinking more medical than anything else. Is this good for my body or not? Is this healthy or not? this sort of thing. But when I first started practicing, I went to a monastery where they don't allow you to pick food. All the food are put into your bowl. And then they all sort of like a battleground in your bowl, all type of food mixed all over each other. And you cannot just pick, you just eat just to fill up your stomach, which is a good way of training yourself this way. Then stop your discrimination of food. You just eat anything that you can fill your stomach with, and not for enjoyment. Not eating for enjoyment. Eating just for taking care of the body. Okay.
That's very clear, Thanajan. Thank you very much.
But if you're practicing right now, maybe you want to avoid eating the food you like. Like I mentioned, if you go to a restaurant, if the waiter come and ask for your order, you say, or just anything. Just tell the waiter, just bring me a couple of things, and then eat just like that.
Very difficult, but.
Or ask your parents or your friend, where will you go with? Just let them order for you. I'll take the same thing that you do.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, Thanajan. Thank you.
All right. More Facebook questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
For more questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ First question from Sen Yin. Ajahn, when I get angry, I feel strong sensation on certain part of my body, but I still react to my sensation and get into an argument. I know my equanimity is not there. I have learned Vipassana and try to do 1 hour meditation daily. What can I do to strengthen my equanimity? And if I feel sensation again when someone shout at me, what should I do? Thank you.
You should use mindfulness like a mantra. Keep reciting a mantra. Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. When you're angry, you can get rid of your anger temporarily.
Next question from Liu Ying Meng. How can one transform oneself to a state of ubekha? What should one do to achieve ubekha? Thank you.
By mindfulness, you have to practice a lot of mindfulness. Stop your mind from thinking even before you meditate. Or think as little as possible. And just focus on your mantra or on what you do. And when you meditate, you'll find it easy for you to completely stop your thinking with mindfulness, and you'll get into ubekha.
Next question from Sen Yin. Ajahn, one more question. I can feel sensation all over my body, even without closing my eyes or just standing, eating. Should I do sweeping up and down constantly, or just focus on a certain part? Should I do this every moment whenever I was aware, or I should only do this when I'm doing sitting meditation? Thank you.
I don't know. I never heard any teachers, my teachers anyway, teach us to scan the body for feeling. We just use the mantra, or we use to watch the body action. That's all. If the body is not moving, sitting, then we watch the breath instead. The goal is to stop thinking. That's all. Yeah.
And last question from Tae Ting Loon. Should I make my meditation environment natural, even if it means just to switch off the fan and let the hot air come inside? I heard the Buddha in one of the sutta said, we must accept reality and become okay with meditating in any state. Will it be too extreme? Thank you.
No. If you can meditate with the natural surrounding, that's the best way. If you rely on something to meditate, when that something is not there for you, then you might find it difficult to meditate. Like if you used to turn on the air condition to meditate, then maybe one day the power went out and you cannot use the air conditioner, then you might find it too uncomfortable to meditate. So ideally is to not rely on any external things to assist in your meditation.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Well, looks like that's about all the time we have for today and tonight. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting has benefited you somewhat and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if nothing goes wrong, I'll see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุเจ้าค่ะท่านอาจารย์
ท่านอาจารย์
ท่านอาจารย์
สาธุอาจารย์
Bye bye. Thank you, Admin. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.